Here's a topic that is kind of 180 or off the beaten path, not what you might expect from what you get at my channel. I'm going to call it the 7 to 10 second interval. I'm sure most of us have at least dabbled in meditation by now. Most of us of a certain age, most of us of a certain predilection, we have experimented with meditation. Some of us more effectively than others. I took a course actually at the Art of Practicing Institute in 2015 with a reputable and very effective mentor, Madeline Bruiser. I've also viewed some of Tara Brach's videos on the subject and discussed it with a friend who attends meditation sessions at our local co-op. I have a lot of trouble with an active brain, particularly at night. Keeps me awake most of the night. The less issues press upon me or demands press upon me, the longer I'll stay awake at night. And then when I finally do go to bed, aware that I am fatigued and ready to sleep, my mind still keeps revolving. The RPMs are extraordinary. So I began to sort of try to employ meditation techniques laying in bed. And what I notice is that thoughts tend to follow a cyclic resurgence of 7 to 10 seconds. Every 7 to 10 seconds, in spite of my most valiant efforts to, keep everything empty, thoughts will penetrate my consciousness. And then you have to be mindful that a thought just did, and you have to kind of let it go. You acknowledge that it's there and you let it go. But every 7 to 10 seconds, there'll be a thought. And if I don't let that thought go, that thought will provoke my body to shift position in the bed. Tossing and turning is directly correlated with the movement of thought through the brain. Pay attention. You'll see that I'm right. We toss and turn because thoughts keep moving through our heads. The more frequently, the more we'll change position. Dropping the tongue from the roof of the mouth into the bottom of the mouth, unclenching fists, unclenching toes, allowing eyes to roll back in the head. All of these things work to help one fall asleep. Provided one is also mindful of allowing thoughts to move through their 7 to 10 second revolution. As far as the solution to it all goes, the most important tenet of mindful meditation is to acknowledge that the thought is there and then release it. Just release it. Let it move as it will. As a thought. Don't engage the thought. Don't begin to think about what you're thinking about. Acknowledge, rather, by the principle of detachment, that you just had a thought. It might be about a person. In my case, it's always about a person. A judgment, an anticipation, or a fear. But just let the thought just move. Just sit there and then just dissolve. By the time you've allowed those thoughts to move on their own and you release them, you will fall asleep after you've unclenched. Dreams are amazing things. Sleep long enough to remember them. If when you get out of bed, you can't remember a dream or you're not aware that you had one, you skipped the REM stage of sleep, rapid eye movement, and you did not have a deep sleep. If you did not have a deep sleep and you skipped the REM stage, you're going to need to catch it later in the form of a nap or by sleeping the next night long enough to dream. I try to write down my vivid dreams, or at least talk about them to save them. There's such an illumination. That's a short commentary on meditation, dreaming. The cycle of 7 to 10 seconds of thought that keep us awake, and a couple recommendations for dealing with them and overcoming them. This has been RuthAnnTALKS, telling the truth about falling asleep. And yes, my top is wrong side out. Aren't you proud of me? I artfully tucked the hanging tags in so that they appear to be part of the design. It's all part of the design after all.